Go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to roll call.
Casey Benner,
Here.
Bill Hart, Mark Buckeye, Thomas Hooper, Whitney Tucker.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Make motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes from our last meeting, September 19th of 2022.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the introduction of evidence.
We've got the design guidelines, city ordinances, you've got the staff reports that you got last week. The first one is sitting in front of you.
I'll make a motion to approve the evidence.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the evidence. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to old business.
Yes, so I spoke with SHPO last week. They notified me they expect funding in 2 weeks. So we went through the timeline, which the timeline that's submitted with the grant is generic. The hope that when this was submitted nearly a year ago, we had this already, but it looks like now we'll be in, it's a 2 or 3 day exterior painting workshop. So either early summer or early fall is what we're going to shoot for. That's the update.
Okay, moving on to new business. We will start with SGHC 001-23 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to construct a new single-family residence at 479 North Main Street.
So in addition to the materials I sent you, the actual plans, there's a couple copies sitting out here on the table.
Okay. So we do need to correct, where it says request, that should say Main instead of merchant, right?
Oh,
What
no,
year?
it's North Main.
So,
479
Right
North
here,
Main.
where it
I
says request.
think
It
it was
says
in our-
request, it says merchant instead of Main. So it is Main, it's
It
supposed to be Main.
is, yes.
Okay.
I apologize, North Main. The agenda is correct.
Your autocorrect filled in the wrong.
That or
spot.
I may have done a little copy and pasting.
do we have anyone here to speak on this?
I'll answer questions if there is any.
Okay. Do we have any questions?
You have any questions?
Is this, so this is an exact copy of another house that's built in the district? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it just exact?
That
The
is
only
the-
change is there's storage at the back of
And the
the,
That's what I thought.
carport,
yeah, that's
right?
the
All
only
right.
That's the only change, yes, and that one was approved back, 3 years ago, I guess, almost 3 years ago.
2019.
It was built where that big old yellow house burned down on Merchant. Blends in there very well. The design is a cottage from 50s and 60s. There's a lot of those with the facing gable. They're in town here, so we're trying to match it up as best we can.
Is there any input from neighbors, anything? I mean, I know they,
I don't think there's any neighbors here this evening. There were some neighbors at a Board of Adjustment meeting that were just questioning the ability to build on the lot. And
Gotcha.
you can build on this lot, it is not, and I gave you that information, it's not a FEMA buyout lot.
Right. Which makes it untouchable for life.
it
right?
does.
Correct.
I have some larger photos if they want to see them.
They have everything.
No,
you
Yeah, we
need.
got good photos of the other house,
And
yeah.
in with the packet, you'll see
Okay.
Mr. Knoll submitted and I supplemented some of the houses that
Some of the
used to
ones
be
that
on
were
that
there.
block, yes.
And we didn't mention the garage, but I'm asking for that too. That's, okay, that's part of it, okay. It didn't mention that on here, but eventually we want to do that. The plan allows for on-site parking on the carport, but then also room on the street, off the street too. And on Merchant, that worked out really well because that's a real close street. And if you don't have off-street, you have people running. Well, one of the neighbors did get wrecked, but so I always try to plan for that. And then the idea of the garage is to people that have a boat or got an old car or something, they want to keep that too, and they don't have to park it on the street then. So, we're short on parking garages and things in town, so that's the idea of the extra garage.
I have no problem with it.
I don't have any issue.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Are we to take into consideration the context of where it is and the materials on the existing buildings that are around it?
But
You could take it into consideration, yeah, absolutely. And I don't have any physical samples, but he did submit some of the materials he'll be
Yeah,
using.
yeah. The first thing that kind of stands out to me is it looks like it has vinyl siding on it, on the entire building, is that right?
Yeah.
And I just noticed that the building right behind it has wood siding on it,
yeah, it's
All right.
this one here.
yeah.
Well, and then you got a pole barn over there with steel on it, so you got.
Do we have a picture of that?
We don't, because it's catty
It's
corners
just,
in there.
okay, and it's
It's a metal building, accessory building to the house.
oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the one next door, of course, is part brick, where the
Right.
troll is, so,
Mhm, mhm.
that's part brick and stucco.
Right, right. I know that's right behind it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think I put some pictures of the house across the street also.
Yeah, the bungalow.
No,
Bungalow.
behind that one.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
Got another
You
page
did.
there?
Yeah, I think I've seen that here.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And these are wood sided too, or now this looks like metal, maybe
No, I think
metal
they're
on the
aluminum.
bottom? Yeah.
I think. I can check that if you'd like to know.
So, well, there's one wood, two metal, and one brick.
Right.
Siding. Would you consider putting a different kind of siding on it? Might be a hardy board siding, something like that? Something that looks a little more permanent?
I don't care for hardwood board, I'm sorry. I've been in building almost 50 years, so, been around the horn a couple times. Actually, I never liked vinyl, and I didn't like vinyl windows, but we're at that point in time where that's what you gotta almost use. If you wanna use some kind of a wood siding, you're gonna be painting it all the time or something.
Right.
I'm not sold on hardy at all, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm just trying to think of something else that's
Well,
a
yeah,
little
I don't
more
know.
like your neighbor.
That's why I went with the design
A
of
little
the
more durable.
This is not the cheap vinyl siding, this is the Dutch lap type, and makes it look pretty good. If you look at the pictures on the other one there, I'll show you. I mean, my color could be different, but,
I don't have any problem with the color. I bought a house on 4th Street with vinyl siding on it, and it was the first thing I would have liked to have taken off of it.
hey,
Whoops, unfortunately, I have to live with it for now.
like I said, I'm
But,
not 100% either, but you gotta be realistic about what's really out there. The only other thing's brick, and you can't hardly afford to do that, so. This makes a nice job. If you wanna go look at it in person, you're certainly welcome to.
the other commissioners are okay with it,
I mean, it's
I'll
already,
pass on it.
it's already kind of a mix. You got the one over there with the brick on it, or not the brick, the metal. I don't remember if that's metal or vinyl over there.
The one on Ziegler across?
This looks like vinyl when you
I-
look at the way the
that's-
trim meets.
Let me go
That's
look real
probably-
quick.
This
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like vinyl.
It's just kind of wide for
Mhm.
vinyl.
Yeah, that
Well, and
porch
that's
looks like
what-
it might be hardy board,
Or, well, but it's probably
like
metal.
right there, but the
That's
rest of
metal.
the house,
rest of
that's
it looks
definitely
like it's
I
vinyl.
think it looks vinyl too.
Okay.
You know, you could always consider vertical steel, I guess, but that get, starting to look like old barn then, you know?
Yeah.
We don't
won't
need to do
Yeah.
that,
No,
so.
I don't think you'll,
This stays with the cottage look, and that's what we're trying to, you know, come up with here.
And the reveal on it matches pretty well. I lost the picture now.
okay, so,
David went to go look,
Double check.
Oh.
double check to see what the siding is on the house
I
on
see.
Ziegler.
That whole area's got a mix of homes right there. Or not homes, but.
Actually shows wood.
Yeah.
Do we have any additional questions or concerns?
You ready?
You ready to make a motion?
I make a motion to accept as submitted.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to accept the certificate of appropriateness to construct a new single-family residence at 479 North Main. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna collect this and give you the next one. You probably have it already, but here are the next three.
I've got
Got them with you?
yeah, yeah.
See?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay. Moving on to SGHC 003-23 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace a standing seam roof with architectural shingles on the residence at 668 Jefferson. Do I have anyone here? Would you come to the podium, please?
Allow myself to introduce myself. I'm Tyler, and I'm the owner of Superior Roofing Strategies, also known as SRS Roofing. I got Terry Parmenter here, also with me, to discuss future plans for 668 Jefferson Street in St. Genevieve, Missouri. Allow me to approach. I got some packets I want to you guys. There's one. Few documents. You guys can share that one. I'm a little short if that's okay. Sorry.
Sure.
Thank you.
And shoot, I needed that copy. Oh,
That's right.
So on Exhibit 1, that's our proposal, and what we want to do is change the standing seam to an architectural shingle roof. And what we propose is tear off the existing roof down on the wood deck, install new half-inch OSB plywood, install new synthetic felt using 10mm staples, install new drip edge, install new Owens Corning starter strip, install new Owens Corning duration architectural shingles, each shingle with the appropriate nail placement, install new Owens Corning Venture ridge vents so roof can properly ventilate and exceed maximum life, install new step flashing, install new aluminum pipe boots and box vents, blast haul away any trash debris left over from job site to ensure a safe and clean job site. And then also install new 6-inch gutters on all the gutter edges of structure and 3x4 downspouts where existing downspouts were. If you turn to Exhibit 2, that is our price for the standing seam metal roof. It doesn't meet the financial budget of Terry. It's quite pricey. You can see that it's almost a $20,000 increase. Also, if you turn to Exhibit A, you can see that the standing seam roof has an integrated gutter system that's soldered into the existing standing seam roof that is failing. It's leaking pretty much from every corner seam, every inside miter. Major problems with this. When we go to tear off the standing seam roof, that's going to come off with it. So we also made an insurance claim on this property, and there's a few underlying issues that keep the insurance company from paying for the entire roof, but we've got shelter insurance on board with doing a replacement for shingles and to cover Terry for an entire new roof as long as we go with the shingle price. So you can turn to Exhibit B. You can see that the integrated gutter system runs around the entire perimeter of the roof, entire gutter edge perimeters of the roof. And you notice that it's, soldered into the valleys, soldered into the actual standing seam panels itself. And so what we propose is, to go the shingle route, if possible. And the main aspect of the whole thing is just the circumstances that this integrated gutter system is failing, and the aspect of the pricing. Also, let's see here. You got that, here it is right here. So this is another contractor's bid, Bowman Construction. I don't know if you want to pass that around. They were an extra $20,000 higher than my standing seam price. I think they came in at 60-something thousand too, so quite expensive to go the standing seam route. We hope that you guys take consideration of the shingles.
What exactly is the damage that they're having inside?
It's just leaking around, like the soffits and all that. Yeah, that gutter system's like with the overhang, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at this one, it looks like the gutters need to be clean, but.
Yeah, well, you can see like how it's all seamed together, like with the 45s of all the corners, all the inside corners. There's going to most likely be a substantial amount of wood replacement as well. We're completely aware of this.
For the most part, from all the pictures that I've seen, most of the roof looks like it's in decent shape. I drove by earlier, and
Yeah.
I mean, I would
It's got
hate.
hail damage,
Well, it's metal. It's
and
got
then,
dents,
that's pretty thin gauge standing seam up there. It's not, anything heavy. Yeah.
It's the same.
And then a lot of the seams are starting to rust out too, where the seams overlap. I don't know if the photos really show that, but there is quite a bit of damage when you're up on it. Definitely needs a roof. Realistically, probably 20 years ago.
That's wood. I thought so. This So you'd actually be changing where the gutters are going, you're gonna be in the gutters, you'd be just cutting that whole thing off and just putting the gutters way down here, right?
We're putting it on the fascia board, yeah, 6-inch seamless.
And what's the likelihood of sealing it? And, I mean, I know the issue you're having with this, because it's
The
really
problem-
hard to get anybody to work on these. I've been trying 2 years to get somebody to work on mine.
The problem is it's already been contaminated with 3-course applicated asphalt and then also a coating. You know, a lot of that coating's flaking off.
Right.
A lot of the tar is starting to show as well, and once it's been contaminated with asphalt products, it's not like we can hit it with like a direct metal paint, or we
Right.
can't hit it with elastomeric coating. The only other option would be to pressure wash all the luma coating off there, and then 3-course applicate all the rust spots and all the areas that's already got the compromised asphalt on it, and then redo the same process over again. And because of the extensive deterioration of the asphalt, it's not going to hold up long. It might be a 3-year, maybe. I just don't feel comfortable warranting that type of work. Going over something that's compromised and going through the deterioration process. We Illumicode a lot of them here in
Yeah.
town we do. We just did one on Market Street. We just did, going down Old St. Mary's Road. Definitely just doesn't qualify for that. You see a lot of the integrated gutter systems rusty. And it's just starting to get to that point. The insurance company, they already approved a new roof. That's the other, huge angle of this whole thing, is we got the insurance company on board with roof replacement.
I just hate seeing all that architectural detail going
Yeah,
away.
like the
But it's- I
character of
mean,
the
it's-
house will be changed by taking off all that cornice.
There's really just no other option other than going back with the standing seam roof, What about doing a slate look-alike shingle? Like there's Owens Corning's Berkshire, and then there's also Certainty's Highland Slate, which it's a 4-tab shingle, but it's a upgraded class 4 shingle it's pretty thick and definitely gives the appearance like a slate look-alike. That's something that probably wouldn't be off the table if you guys would consider that as well.
Do you have an example of that with you?
Yeah, I can pull it up on my phone. I don't have any actual sample. I can pass that around. You're okay with that.
I'm trying to figure out how it is. That's the 2 things I was talking about. How long have you had this building?
I'm sorry?
How long have you had this building?
I bought it in 2015.
So, okay.
Okay, so you'd still be doing the change in the guttering though with this?
Correct, yeah. So the gutter system, regardless, I know you spoke on, having the architectural change, and you guys didn't really like that. But either way, that gutter system's really going to have to go, because I don't know of any way of fabricating or manufacturing that gutter system back. I mean, and we definitely can't reuse it.
It just doesn't look like it's really deteriorated to that point, though. It really doesn't, from the evidence that you have here, the pictures that we have.
Well, too, the other option is, when we do tear the existing roof off, it's soldered in one piece, so there's no, we would have to basically surgically remove the roof from the gutter system to get it separated and to come off, you know what I mean? And it's hopping over all the hips, it's going through all the valleys, and it's just all one piece. I mean, you can clear as day see that it's soldered together.
Oh, yeah, they all were.
Yeah, so I don't know what other option we really have to save that decorative architectural look that you guys are wanting to hang on to with the gutters.
Well, it's
I
not
think
just
if we
the
can
look,
get
it's
past-
part of the structure, it's part of
Right.
what the building is, you know,
Yeah.
it's not something that was added.
Yeah, it's character defining.
Right, exactly. And once it's gone, that's something you can never get back.
Right?
I'm sure to get somebody in there to do, to mimic that back would be very expensive. A lot more than the pricing that we, Bowman Construction and I gave for just the standing seam. That, because our prices both don't include that integrated gutter system. Just that's a straight standing seam roof.
I can't do it. I mean, I know it's a struggle to sit there and try to seal them and everything's a pain, but golly.
And you'll be just forever fighting this, if we don't make
Well, and
some sort of drastic changes, is how I see it.
Right, I mean, any of these old buildings, it's constant, any old houses.
Yeah.
All my properties are, well, this is what, how old is this one?
Circa 1990.
My one's 1849, so, yeah, it's just a constant maintenance issue that she's gonna deal with.
Not to mention, the panels that are up there. I understand what you're saying as far as going back with a coating, and if I felt like it qualified, I would most definitely, would do that for Terry. Like I said, we do a lot of them here in St. John. I just don't think that it's going to last, and keep in mind those panels are have storm damage up there. And the insurance company
course they do.
approved a roof replacement, so just want you guys to be aware of that there was most definitely enough damage to where the insurance company is stepping in, so.
Can we table it?
You can.
I mean, I'm just stuff running through my head. Like I said, once that architectural detail's gone, it's gone forever. You're never gonna get it back. And I don't know of any other house here in town that actually has this, like, the cornice look to it. I've seen some of the what I call box gutters, where, just kind of straight off, but nothing that elaborate.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
Do we want to make a motion to table it? Do we want to make a motion to accept or deny?
Well, I can't accept it. I can't, but
Tyler, is there a chance to try and seal it and see what happens?
I mean, it's hard to do, but
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance, but the problem is the money, financial, and
I know.
financially, is it makes sense to go back and just keep trying to, throw money at something that's inevitable and that needs to be replaced. And then, two, if, getting the insurance company to just go for that, to go for a repair, that's going to mess that portion of things up as well. Obviously, the money that they're putting is for the cost estimate to go back with the shingles. If we go with that, then they're not going to want to pay out what they're
Sure.
paying out.
Right.
It just makes the water a little bit murky. I mean, it's possible. I mean, we can try, just not going to be able to stand behind it, you know, workmanship wise for what I would a, you know, 50-year shingle roof. Then it's like this, I don't know if Terry really wants to keep, you know, having it coated and sealed and, you know, every few years. I think he was really under the impression, you know, especially since the insurance company was going to pay for it, that he was getting a new roof, so.
We should have helped him.
You can see in like Exhibit C, the ribs on the standing seam. I mean, they're bent over. It's definitely
Yes, it's
pretty,
a 100,
you know,
it's a
yeah.
120-year-old roof.
for sure, and it's definitely in rougher shape. And you can see in like Exhibit B how corrosive everything really is on the coating, and it's just going to be really hard to seal this. There's a lot of jobs that qualify, and there's a lot of jobs that don't qualify. In my opinion, this is a job that doesn't qualify. With coatings, requires a lot of prep work. If the prep work's not right, then the coating's not going to last. And this is just one of those roofs where even if I go through it with the pressure washer, you know, and prep this entire thing, I just don't think that it's going to do justice for it.
No, I know if it was mine, I know what I would do, but
Well, I just redid another
you just
roof on
redid
my
yours.
house.
I know. I mean, if you want to table it, we can table it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to, I don't know.
Do you, to get more information, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe get over.
I mean, it looks like an old roof.
It does.
It doesn't look like, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a lot of water inside the house. I don't have pictures of the inside of the house, but, is it wet inside there? Is there active leaking in your house?
Well, it comes off the edges on the sides.
Right.
And so, absolutely, in the basement.
It's running down that wall. That gutter system sits right, the overhang's not very big. It's
Right.
roughly, you know, 8 inches, maybe 10 inches. And it's running down the wall all the way to the basement.
So the exterior, not the interior.
Both, yeah. Interior a lot, and then exterior as well. Yeah. And I just know that it's the gutter system failing. I mean, where we're having a lot of the issues is on a lot of the joints, and
I mean, that's what I was saying, like on Exhibit A, you're saying that the gutter system's failing. I can just see it's plain right there that the gutters need to be cleaned. I mean, and if that's clogged up, of course it's gonna fail.
like Exhibit A, that's very, very minimal, not enough to restrict water flow.
I don't know, if that's all you have on that roof.
And I honestly think that that's just from, I think one small rain would wash that out of there. I think that might have just had settled in between rains, what you're actually looking at right there. I don't think that's a substantial amount of blockage. Not saying you're wrong, but
Right.
just saying what I feel. And you can see Exhibit B too. I mean, there's a little bit of debris due to there not being, you know, gutter screens, or which honestly you couldn't put gutter screens on this, but
That's all off the roof anyway.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm not seeing the wear down the exterior of the building that you're describing. Do you have anything that shows that on the exterior or the interior?
No, we do not have photos of any water damage. Only thing I captured was points of, you know, the roof. You can see on Exhibit D, like on, if you look up the corner, you can barely catch it from the above. Looks like the soffit's damaged right there. That's all I can really see photo-wise.
Talking about all the way on the left there.
Yep, all the way on the left.
That's certainly a piece we've been chasing for quite some
Now,
time.
would that-
chasing this offer.
What do they call that part where the, you know, because your gutter, your,
When was the last time the house was repointed, do you know?
so the gutter,
We had some
you know,
spot
goes up and
repointing
there's a
soon
piece
after
that
I got
comes
it. That would
off
have
the
been
gutter.
probably
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
2016.
It comes down, then the gutter goes up inside of it. I call it a scupper.
You can see in Exhibit D too, the
Yeah,
tuck
yeah.
pointing on that inside of that wall where it's taken water damage, where somebody's tuck pointed, which was probably 2016, all the way down the miter, on the inside miter of the gutter system, all the way down the brick. You can clearly as day see that that's all been tuck pointed, most likely due to it leaking on that inside miter.
I'll leave it up to you guys. It just doesn't look, I'm like you, it doesn't look bad enough to me. This
And
is-
if we need to get additional photos as well, that won't be a problem.
Maybe it'd be time to go look at it too.
I just think the proposed changes really alter the building to a point where it really has a negative effect on the historic district.
Yeah, I don't think the proposed changes fit in with the guidelines that we have.
Are we ready to make a decision?
Nobody's ready to commit.
Nobody wants to be a party
Do
pooper.
we want to table it in order to get more detailed pictures? Interior, exterior, additional roof pictures to see if we can find more damage?
I mean, I just, like Bill said, I'm not gonna approve it just because you're gonna lose too much architectural detail on it. And I just don't think it's that far gone. I mean,
We need additional photos, I can most definitely, I feel like I should have gathered more under these circumstances. I feel like it's not enough based off what you guys are saying, and more can be most definitely provided.
You're just taking a lot off of a historic building, and it's our job to make sure that that's preserved, the
I
historic
understand
character's preserved.
fully. It's
mean,
just
even-
tough, from our perspective, from a financial perspective, from a contractor's perspective, there's just not like a whole lot that we can do without getting, into a substantial amount of money. So,
that's-
I'm okay with doing whatever. I mean, if Terry wants to pay me all day
Yes.
long,
That's just one of the unfortunate thing about these old buildings. They're not cheap at all, no matter what you do to them. But you guys want to table it, or you want to? I'm not going to approve that. I can't.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't.
Is it possible that the insurance company will
Reject it.
allot the amount for the architectural shingles towards standing seam?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
to be honest with you on that.
I mean,
Regardless, I think at minimum, he's gonna be coming out of pocket close to $20,000 if that's the case, if the insurance company allows that. So
Okay.
that'd be something that I'll have to run through
it's just a thought.
shelter.
make a motion to reject it as proposed.
So
I'll
not-
second.
Not table?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to reject their certificate of appropriateness to replace the standing seam roof with architectural shingles on the residence at 668 Jefferson. All in favor?
Hold on just a second, I
Oh.
apologize. So I need the sections of the code, kind of that, so I just want to be clear.
What do you guys propose that I do in this situation? Do you guys have an alternative solution versus just denying it outright?
With modern materials, it's tricky because part of the biggest reason that I feel that it's violating the codes and the guidelines is the removal of that guttering. Because it's very iconic. It is a character defining feature of that style of Queen Anne Victorian. By removing it, you lose your stylistic features.
Yeah, and it's not a small feature.
Right, it's
You know,
a
that's
very
the-
significant.
you know, If it were like a 4-inch gutter, that would, that'd be a whole different ballgame.
So would
But
you
the thing
guys,
is, this is a big cornice gutter with a big pan with the built-in cornice.
Yeah.
okay, I guess what I'm trying to say, one other possibility, if it is possible that portion of gutter does stay and we could surgically remove the standing seam metal off that, are you guys still opposed to putting architectural shingles on?
I am.
I am.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
still
hit the-
not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to with like material.
you still want it to be standing seam.
Yeah, the guidelines still say that if it's standing seam, it has to be replaced with standing seam.
Yeah, it does say that. That's not our rule. I mean, it's-
Yeah.
Right, we just have to enforce it.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't meet Mr. Parmenter's financial budget, I mean, it's still just,
They don't look at financials.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's the bad thing about it.
There,
You go ahead if you want.
I mean, there is a hardship clause, but I don't feel that it's been met with the evidence we've been given. If you can collect more evidence and want to resubmit, I'd be okay with that. With the packet that we have, the question and answer session that we've done, I don't feel that it's been met.
what pointers or advice can you give me as far as meeting that clause? What type of evidence do I need to present to bring to the table that would ensure that it's a possibility that this goes through?
Give me just a moment.
I guess there's pieces of, information that I feel that I'm missing. I mean, if you can't afford to potentially get the new roof, and the insurance company's not gonna stand behind just doing the repairs, the other alternative is that it's just gonna keep leaking, and then we're just gonna keep dealing with more rot and, more problems, and who's to say in 10 years there's even gonna be a building there, if he doesn't get anything taken care of.
So there's an unnecessary hardship clause. There's also an economic hardship clause. I would think you would go the unnecessary hardship route, but we can talk about that after the meeting or later on. Not necessarily after this meeting, but tomorrow or next week. I'm going to read you a little bit of it, I apologize. Where by reason of financial circumstances applicable solely to the particular individuals applying, strict enforcement of the provisions of this article would result in unnecessary hardship affecting the applicant, and the commission, in passing upon the application, shall have the option to vary or modify adherence to the article, provided that its requirements ensure harmony with the general purposes of the preservation of basic form and rhythm of structures, and not adversely affect the historic district as a whole or any designated landmark, which this is not. And from there, it's basically an application that you would turn in along with some sort of financial documentation to show the hardship, which that would mean proof of what it would cost and proof of inability to pay that cost.
Okay, so we just set this up for, would I have to go basically in front of you guys again on the next month's board meeting
Correct.
with that information? Okay. All right.
So we're going to say, if we're going to vote to deny that it, on the basis of, A.7, which is the maintaining.
Right, one is it's not standing seam, what they proposed.
Okay,
Two, let's see, what else? It doesn't preserve the original eave depth, right, because it, it's,
Age 16.
So age 16,
17
right.
For roofing materials.
and wouldn't you said age 17 also?
For
Okay.
roofing materials.
And those are the ones that are included in the package,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that, I mean, with that information, unless you want to add to it, that's fine, that's what I needed.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the motion and a second, and the information as to why we are denying it. All in favor to deny?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So I will send that letter to you in the mail, to the address on file, which is 668. And then if you all are, Tyler, if you want to come tomorrow or next week, whenever you have time, we can go over the procedure for the financial hardship piece of it.
Sounds good.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Oh, I got it out there already. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Moving on to SGHC 005-23 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a guardrail on the front porch of the residence at 105 North 2nd Street.
You're up, miss.
So, as soon as we moved in, we found that not having a porch trail is a code violation. So I researched the most cutest, most adorable Victorian option I could come up with, and I came up with flat balusters. That's about all I can say. I really wanted it to look historical and quaint and to match the character of the town. And I did see about 3, I mean, I haven't intensely looked, but I've seen 3 other houses with flat balusters.
So, let's see. The one you were, is this the one that you're wanting?
I mean, just that flat
this
look.
just-
I don't have columns, because
Well,
there's
no, right, right,
yeah.
right.
Yep,
That's
just
very
that flat look,
familiar.
and that's almost identical to the design that my craftswoman contractor friend came up
Okay.
with. So, and she's been cutting them out. And we'd already started, I didn't even know about, I didn't realize we were under this sort of
Oh.
jurisdiction. And she already started cutting them
Welcome.
out, and then I get this letter. I'm like, oh, no. So they're all cut out and painted, or at least not painted, they are, what was she doing? She was treating them so they would be more weather resistant.
So I want to add, Commissioner Buckeye had asked me a question beforehand. There is a stipulation for historic contributing structures that you could put a barrier of some sort instead of a guardrail. So I just want to offer you that information, meaning planter bushes or something.
Oh, okay. I mean, I wanted to put something up.
Okay.
I mean, that was
Okay.
my plan, and then I just thought I was very rushed when I was told that it had to be done. I mean, they told me I had like 10 days to do it. I'm like, are you kidding? But then he said it was okay, that we waited. But, no, I wanted to put something up. It just got a little more rushed, and so that's fine.
One thing I'll ask, so this is one that I just took a picture of, the balustrade, the cut cedar panels, that's what you were wanting to put on there?
Yeah, I think she said it was cheaper. She did pine, but it's gonna be painted.
Okay, well, I mean,
Yeah.
my thing, I just think that's gonna hide a lot of your facade of the house. I think it's gonna take away from the other characteristics of your house. Where like you have this other one here, an example, it's just like the black iron.
There's no iron. Oh,
No,
Oh.
this is, I guess, an example.
oh, sure.
Maybe you put those in there?
Correct.
Okay. And to me, those, I like, personally, like those, they don't hide, you can see through it. And so you can see more of your facade of your home.
Yeah, I think her design actually is a little bit, they're bigger, you can see more. They're not as, I couldn't find the exact, she gave a picture to David. Did she give you a picture?
Yes, they have it.
Oh, they have it. Okay,
Yeah.
she sent me them all laid out.
Oh, is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, I
That's
thought
the
that was
actual
an
one
example.
itself.
This one here, Dave?
Well,
Correct.
I printed that. That was me, 'cause I was
That's
looking.
what you gave me, I gave them.
Okay, so did Gretchen give you a picture? She said she did.
Is this it?
No, I printed that just from
That's what
pictures.
she.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just from photos that you've
Yes,
seen.
that was an idea. I think they are gonna have more.
It's really a cute
They're cut out more.
design. I
Yeah.
just don't know that
That
it
building.
matches the design of your building.
And it's
It looks
making
more
it,
Victorian where the building is more colonial.
it was built
The black
1910.
iron ones that you picked out
Yeah.
are almost identical to her house. That's the,
Yeah,
Right, right.
right.
Yeah.
And you can
that's-
see that traditionally, your style house doesn't have a porch on it.
Right.
Well, yeah, so I was
Or,
told, I mean, I was told,
Right.
get one on there right away, it's a
Yeah.
code
Originally, you
violation.
just probably had steps going up under the,
Yeah.
and I don't know, have you seen this picture?
Is that my house? It looks.
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not, no, my house.
No, it looks a lot
And
like
that's-
it though.
See it? Okay.
Those are examples of
These
other
are examples
houses.
that he showed us.
Dutch
Okay.
colonial.
Somewhat similar, and this is what I was talking about.
Oh,
Something
yeah,
like that, so
okay.
we,
Yeah, so Gene said it had to be all the way around,
right,
and there
right.
had to be because it was more than like 30
Here's
inches
a
or 20
different one
inches.
too. Here's one with this little spindles. That's a little more.
Yeah.
More the style.
I mean, I wonder if.
Do you have a photograph with you that we?
Let me look at my phone.
do you know which house it is,
Dead.
don't you, Whitney?
That she
You know
cut
which house
out,
it is?
yeah. let me see.
If down at Second and Washington,
That's a
Second
cute
and
house.
Jefferson,
Uh-huh.
it's the one that has the
Okay,
fence
it
around
is-
it with all the different
It
colors.
needs a lot of
panels.
work.
It's like
Oh.
future, that's the house you're talking about.
Okay, so
Okay.
here's a picture of the one she cut out. See, there's more, they're less, like, opaque.
Oh, so these are just gonna be like,
They're like
those are.
balusters.
And she can make
right,
them
those-
further
those are kinda
apart
col-
as well, which would be,
colonial looking, sort of,
Yeah, yeah,
other than they're cut through, but.
yeah, right.
yeah, and I asked her how close together, she goes, as close together as you want.
Can't
So
see.
they can be
No.
further apart.
Oh, so they're not
They're not,
married?
right, they're
Oh,
not.
no, we haven't done anything. Those are just
Okay.
cut out in the shop, yeah.
So Mark, you're wanting more spacing between them?
Well, yeah, because I mean,
We can put things in between.
well, no, I mean, I don't know what her spacing is, I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
like this,
tight
where
like
they were
that.
married.
Oh, see, I
They
just
were
looked
married
for the
together where it would be more.
closest picture to the design
It would be very, it's
online.
more, a very
Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
look to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they could be further apart, absolutely,
Yeah,
and
I
I can
mean-
tell her that. She wanted to come and then she thought,
And- Okay. I mean, one thing is, it's not gonna be attached to the building itself, so.
Right. Then that porch is 1950 anyway, so it's not.
Right.
And it's aluminum siding and.
What's that?
It's aluminum
Is it?
siding, yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like bad things.
Thoughts?
I mean, since they are already cut, painted and everything, I'm okay with the further spacing in between the balusters. I think it would
Right.
be a better look and probably be a better solution.
Can we get a little more specific, like
Yeah,
how
how
many
many
inches?
inches?
Do you have any idea what she?
Well,
what
there's
the
actually
actual-
probably something
She
in
told
the
me
ordinance
how,
that says
it's
how far they need to
however I
be
want
as
it, that's
well.
what she said. And so I
Ah.
think we were gonna kinda play with it
Can't be more than
and,
4 inches?
Correct.
Can't
So-
be, I'd say your minimum 4 inches,
4 inches, okay,
so.
okay,
All right.
that'd be fine.
So, somebody want to make a motion to
I
that?
will make a motion to accept with the caveat that the balustrades be 4 inches apart.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second with the 4-inch spacing to accept the certificate of appropriateness to install the guardrail on the front porch of the residence of 105 North Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more.
Guys, want to do
It
it
was that
yourself.
second one that got me.
I know.
That one should have been last.
I know, I was hoping it was
I
going to
agree,
be
that should have
last.
been the last one.
Moving on, SGHC 006-23, to receive a certificate of appropriateness to place a new commercial structure at 30 North Main.
Yes.
I'm saying
And
that to
that's
you.
it?
So-
No, that's not the exact
Sim-
one,
you
but
know,
it's
Yeah,
gonna be,
right.
it's gonna be similar. We're gonna have this single door on this one, and your windows are gonna be bigger than what's on this.
Four
also,
by-
right?
four by
four,
fours.
Right.
And the structure is going to be similar to the original, the drawing that was submitted to build the building? That's what it looked like you were going to put the facade on it?
This one?
So it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a pre-built
Yeah, it's pre-built,
building
it's a pre-built
itself.
building.
It's
But
gonna
then
be on
adding stone.
skids, and then we're,
Oh.
yes, stone around the
To
bottom,
kinda-
and then we're adding the porch on the front.
Right, okay. Do you think you could maybe get it looking a little more like this?
Yeah, I was gonna say. When I saw the pictures, I thought, oh, this is a slam dunk.
Probably.
Are you showing her the Rozier house?
Yeah. That's what was there.
It's a shame that
I'll
you
do my
don't
best.
have higher paying taxes. What's that?
I said I'll do my best.
Oh, okay.
The Heritage Commission didn't exist in 1958, can you tell?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, like, what's that sign? It's not masonite, but
It's a wood.
it is.
It's a
is
wood
it-
siding.
is it?
Mhm.
What's going on the west, the east side of the?
South.
South side. It's closest to Show Me Shop,
Oh, okay.
along where the new stone
The
wall
porch is gonna
is.
face,
Porch will face the, in St. Jumbo Bay.
yes, the parking lot, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Think
I was-
about it.
I was turned around too, I was thinking it was going back towards the tracks, facing
Yeah.
Audubon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you
That's
took the
gonna sit
gazebo that
perpendicular
was
to it.
there and just
Okay.
swung it
Yeah.
around, that's where it's gonna sit.
Okay.
Challenge sometimes, but.
We all are.
I kind of put myself like, okay, if I'm going to stand here.
That's what, yeah, that's what I was doing, except I did it backwards.
Don't tell me like east and west and give me a landmark, like
Right.
show me shop.
Right.
I have to think of where the river is, and then I can give you a direction. To remember where the river is.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Do we have any questions?
I don't know.
So is this siding like board and batten? It's kind of pixelated.
See,
when
that's
I
what it
fixed
looks like.
That's
to me.
kind of,
It looks like,
I
yeah.
believe it's vertical.
Okay.
I don't know that it's board and batten per se.
I don't know, yeah. My shed has this,
Mhm.
you know, you use it Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever,
And-
it looks like vertical boards.
Right.
Okay.
it has
And
just
why
a
do you want
purpose.
this across the street from the Audubon?
That's where we're housing the bar for the beer garden, because I'm not setting up a tent every weekend, putting coolers out every weekend. No, it's not. I can tell you, the first weekend we had music out there last weekend, we had probably 200 people on the patio. And it was very well attended.
Wow.
And so it's gonna be a good revenue stream for the community.
What color are you gonna paint this thing anyway?
Yeah.
I don't,
I mean, did you have any idea?
we talked about doing a cream, kind of like the building itself, but we would like to do some blues in with it too, since our signature color is blue. But that, I think it's technically called stone, was a color that we picked out, which is like a cream off-white color.
What color was the roof gonna be?
Do what, sorry?
What color is the roof gonna be? Roof? I mean, I know
Um,
you can, I didn't know if you guys had decided on any colors
I
on the
mean,
roof.
we haven't really, Mike and I are getting together
Maybe you
probably
could
on
suggest
Friday.
that it look like its neighbor or whatever.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause I knew,
Do the neighbors know about this? Do they know you're gonna build this? That you wanna build this?
Well, it's not a building, we're just
Yeah.
bringing it in.
Right,
I don't know if they, I mean, Show Me Shop.
I mean, I'm not
knows.
trying to be antagonistic, I just want to know, I mean, it is gonna have neighbors, so.
you're talking about
just
the
be-
Show Me Shop.
Yeah, that's where that's the closest
Right
neighbor,
across the street.
Show Me Shop.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're aware of it, yes.
So it's going in the same spot the gazebo was at.
Basically.
I was in the wrong end of the
per-
parking lot.
Perpendicular to it.
So
Okay.
just
So
behind it.
we have, if you haven't been down there, we have the first 50 by 40 feet, we have turned into a beer garden. We cut out the parking lot and put in landscaping.
Right,
And so we have that area, and we're in the process of buying outdoor furniture for over there. And we're probably gonna put up some shade sails and things like that, so developing that area.
Maybe I should have put buildings on here too, but here's the hotel,
Right.
All right,
cafe.
okay, and there's the building
Here's the
now.
Show Me Shop,
Right.
Yep,
there's the building.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
gazebo's
I was
more
on
on
the
the
wrong
corner.
Here's
end.
the in St. Jim Beauvais.
yeah, okay, I was on the wrong end too.
Okay.
So, yeah, the neighbors here would know, and of course, the neighbors here know
Mm-hmm.
about that, but it's also at the opposite end.
And then the porch is facing that way.
Facing the
Inside,
parking
yeah.
lot.
So you
Yeah.
could serve out of it,
Gotcha. Okay, okay.
yes, and then I believe the door that Mark showed you would be on this end, so you
Right.
could come in and get access.
So it's basically where you usually set up your bar when you're outside.
And it's about being able to have a building for electric, so I can put a point of sale system over there.
Sure.
I can put internet over there. I can't do any of those things with the pop-up.
What's the backside of that have on the street side, Karen?
Do what?
On the street side, were there windows on the back?
Oh, not
not-
on the Show Me
On the
Shop
street
side.
side, okay.
Mm-mm. There'll be a window
On
on,
the
towards
end
Main
here.
Street.
Right,
And then 2 windows towards, in
Right.
St. Jim Beauvais.
okay.
Nothing on the back side.
Too bad you couldn't do faux brick siding. That really blended in.
Yeah,
Cool.
something like that. Or-
Are they building this to suit?
Do what,
Is
sorry?
this gonna be a build to suit?
Mhm.
They might be able to do that, even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would that be something you'd consider?
What?
The faux brick siding so that it matches?
It would
the
match
buildings
Show Me
around
Shop.
it?
Cause the Show Me Shop's all brick.
I mean, we can, but there's 2 metal buildings right there in the parking lot that are, I mean, they're right there behind in St. Jim Beauvais,
Uh-huh.
so,
But they're behind St. Jim Beauvais.
I mean, but yeah, they're very visible from the patio. I mean, we were thinking the
Oh, I
wood,
see, so you're saying that's not fair?
well, I mean, yeah, kind of, and that are, I mean, I would rather do, I mean, that's why we picked the wood siding versus doing metal siding.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't want
No.
a metal look. We
Yeah,
thought the wood
yeah.
look. Mike would like to do more of the, shiplap, whatever siding on the front of the building, but
No, I mean, that's,
I love Mike Fowler. He has lots of ideas and he has a little time. So in order for
Right.
us to really be able to get it done, it's gonna have to be something that they do for us.
Right.
And so that's what they do. They don't have, I mean, they don't have a brick option. If we did any kind of brick stuff, it would be stuff we would have to do out of pocket and hire a contractor.
I like Mike's idea, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
chalkboard
like-
wood.
Well,
I
he-
like- I like a.
I mean, and not just on
I
the
like
porch,
the
too, but he would
vertical
do it.
rather than the, or
He
the
wanted to do
horizontal
it
rather than the
just
vertical.
across the front of the porch. I mean,
Right.
I'm not opposed to that. I mean, again, the issue is why we went to go to the pre-built is because finding an architect to.
Sure.
And then stick build it and finding a contractor to do that. This has already been a year in the making. I've been working on this for over a year. And the price points for them are just, I mean, doing a pre-built is a lot less expensive.
They're gonna buy this and not lease it.
No, we're buying
Yeah.
it, buying it outright,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's, I mean, it's, what we would pay an architect just to
Oh,
see
sure,
the plans
right.
is what we
No, I
will
get
pay for
that,
that building.
right.
So, and they will provide us with the plans.
I wonder if they would, whoops. I wonder if they would consider running this horizontal.
Yeah, it would look,
You know, if they're gonna build it to suit, would they run the,
would they
the
run your
boards, would
siding
they run
vertically
sideways?
or horizontally instead of vertically?
No idea.
I mean, that would give Mike his look that he was looking at for, it. That's what I was getting at.
I'd be happier with it.
Then he wouldn't have to, they would do it all for him.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I don't know that they offered that. They were going to, because we looked at like repurposing windows from the old hotel to
Mhm.
use, just because we thought that would be a cool,
That would be that would
Aspect.
be neat,
Yeah.
that would be really
Um,
cool.
and so they were willing to leave the windows open and then we would install them.
Oh, gotcha.
Um,
So is our biggest hangup right now that siding, as opposed to the footprint?
Well, I mean, Mike was wanting to turn it, I think it would look better horizontal as opposed to vertical. It would
Mhm.
look more like that siding,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I don't have an issue with the building itself, as long as you don't put a blue roof on it.
So, design guidelines for new residential construction, or, well, here, for new commercial buildings, alterations to non-contributing commercial. Site planning, building mass, scale, and form, building materials, and architectural characters are the four things that we're supposed to be looking at here. That's 5, 9, 10.
Trying to think, there's the doctor, what's his, Dr. Heimlich? That's
Heretic.
a heretic.
Heretic. Heimlich, whatever.
Anyhow, that one's wood-sided, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of all the wood-sided ones down that road.
Right.
If you
And
have
that's-
that one, then
and
you have the
that's-
blue one down a little farther.
And that's horizontal wood siding.
Yes.
Yeah, or, yeah.
Blue one, that's the only two. No, then you have the one just,
Yvonne and Sam's, aren't those both?
which one? The one
Yvonne.
that's sunk back. Oh, Yvonne Lemire. Hers is a vertical August.
On the inside.
Yeah, it is, you're right.
And then Sam's, the yellow one next to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there's definitely a precedent for the wood siding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So-
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy with it.
All easy ones tonight.
Hmm?
All easy ones tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
This is just, this is a strange one because it's not a residence.
Yeah.
It's not
Well, and it's portable.
your standard commercial building.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, it's portable, it's,
Yeah, I get it.
Do we have more questions? Are we ready to make a decision?
on that one. I would like to see if they could do that in vertical, if they would, I mean,
Horizontal.
Horizontal.
I mean,
We're
horizontal,
starting
that's
with that
vertical.
word tonight.
I just, you know, like Mike said, he was wanting to do that shiplap, and that's totally would be the look he's wanting,
Right.
you know? And they can probably do that, it's, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to.
So you're wanting to see it basically look like wooden horizontal siding.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they could do that. I mean, I don't have a big issue with the building itself,
Okay.
you know. Like you said, Mike was wanting to go the other way, and if they're gonna build it to suit, then why not go ahead and, see if they'll flip it sideways.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't have a problem with the building shape or any of that, but the siding just, in it to fit in.
Yeah, yeah. It looks more like a shed, with the vertical siding on it.
Yeah,
It would look, it just seems like it'd be more substantial looking,
yeah.
like a building instead of something
Right.
that you drove up on a flatbed with.
And
No,
that faux brick,
I mean-
I think, would be great, but if it's not a financial option, then I'm with Mark on,
Just turn it sideways.
yeah, turning it sideways
Turning it
and
sideways.
getting that elongated lines.
I just have a problem with a lot of stuff, like context, it says visual continuity with the neighboring buildings. Is the roof shape like any other building around it?
The Heimlich house.
Or
It's gonna be stuck in my head now.
yeah, that's
It
true.
is.
It's got that,
They had that. Dr. Heritage has that hip roof on it.
Hip roof. It has a mansard roof on the front of it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
what am I thinking of then?
That's
Dr.
one you're
Heritage's
thinking of.
house has a mansard roof. It's a
Yeah.
white frame
blue.
building with a,
Blue roof.
The roof,
Yeah.
okay. On the corner of Jefferson.
it has a French roof on it
Yeah.
for a German house.
I don't know. Well, he didn't build it, I don't think, but he did put the porch on it.
I just don't know. The building just doesn't seem to have a style. Maybe that's not what I should be looking at.
And these windows are gonna actually be bigger than what they are. These are, the ones that I think in the picture are about, what, 2 by 2, I think?
Something.
And they're putting 4 by 4, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Larger-
4 by 4s.
Yeah, 4 by 4, larger ones.
Right. So it'll look.
All right, I'm okay with it as long as it, with horizontal siding, lap siding instead of boxcar
I
siding.
can't promise that it's gonna be lap siding, if it's anything.
Well,
I'll
no,
probably
it
take
would
that
be
and turn
brick
that.
siding, but it would just be
Right.
turned
Right,
sideways.
turned sideways.
Right, it would appear
Right.
to be somewhat lap siding.
And the surround on the footing is stone, or
Correct.
stone veneer.
It's gonna look like.
So it'll have an anchored, like, kind of a look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
it'll-
looked like a stone foundation.
Yeah,
Yes.
It almost looked like an old smokehouse type,
yeah,
I mean, what I would call a smokehouse.
right.
Are you doing blue foundation?
Do what?
You doing blue foundation?
No.
No, okay.
I think we'll probably end up going with like blue shade sails or blue chairs to bring the blue in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We're ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Just gonna leave it up to me. I'll make a motion to approve. Do we want to have it on stipulations of it, of them doing this vertical or horizontal? then?
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll make that part of your motion.
Yes. There.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve it with the siding going horizontal as opposed to vertical.
So I wrote horizontal oriented siding.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sufficient?
Yes.
I have a motion to approve with horizontal oriented.
Oh, it's nice. It's one of those nights.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to approve a certificate of appropriateness with the stipulation of horizontal oriented siding for a new commercial structure at 30 North Main Street.
Where'd you get that address from?
I created it when one of the times Audubon's has come in here for a project.
Okay. Because like ours is 9 North Main Street, so I'm just surprised that across the street's 30.
Well, an address is just created.
It makes no sense, yeah. It really doesn't. It's weird.
It doesn't have to be 30, so we don't have to.
I was just curious, because we have to, so the other part, for us to get a liquor license, we have to have a building for a liquor license too.
Right.
Otherwise, we have to do the,
When that comes, if you want to talk about an address assignment, an official one, we can, but I wasn't going to give it 9 North Main, because obviously that's not what we're talking about.
I didn't know, I thought the post office assigned those.
No.
So this, I'll just show you this. This is another one that we looked at, but to
People's
me, this
street
looks like
departments
it
get-
looks like a tiny
We
Do
one.
the numbering,
we
don't they?
assign,
To
Do
me,
you?
it
Yeah.
doesn't look like it.
or in the county,
Oh,
then
yeah.
obviously the county.
But that's a different company. That's not we're trying to stay local and stay in the county, so. I like the upper.
What is it?
But it just doesn't,
It's
to me,
got
to me, it
the
looks more like a
stone.
tiny home than it looks.
That looks cool.
Yeah. It'll look nicer when it's not on cinder blocks. You know.
Yeah,
when
this
it has a
isn't
nice-
their building. This is
Right,
just a
right,
different
when it
one.
has a nice foundation in it, it'll look a lot
Yeah.
better. Okay.
Okay, so we're good, good if they do.
The vertical.
We do
Horizontal.
vertical,
Horizontal.
horizontal look.
Motion and a second to do horizontal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
Stop laughing at me. You were on the other side of the parking lot.
I got there eventually.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kara.
Okay, moving on to administrative approvals.
Yes, so you will see there a certificate of approval to install an in-ground pool and aluminum fence. That's on a non-contributing property at 300 Hillcrest, so I did issue that. And then there are 3 attestations as to material placement. 51 South, here, let me get them to you real quick. 51 South 3rd is a roof replacement. 185 South 3rd is deck railing. And 132 Merchant is also a roof replacement. I'm sorry, window replacement. But all of those are same or very similar material.
Okay. Is she one of the owners of the,
No.
she just has to do all the work for them?
She's
Dirty
there.
work.
She's,
Taking their ugly
Yeah.
building and arguing in favor of it. The nicest thing about that building is that it'll be easy to get rid of.
true. But, you know, I mean, and that's one thing about, I mean, that's one of the reasons I put it, it's temporary. So when it starts looking like crap or it starts falling apart, you just haul it off, you know, but it will, at least.
I just can't think, I don't know. They did such an upscale rehab on their building. It's
Why they
just-
would, yeah, but see, they would have had to go through a bunch of other stuff to build a permanent building there.
Yeah,
Do we want
It
to
just
adjourn?
looks like
Yes,
something that
please.
came off of a
Nope, I mean, no
flatbed.
public comments, so we can adjourn.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
No, we're good, 7:18.
7, 8,